Thank you, Father Perry. Good morning, St. Peter's. How are we this morning? Good. Well, I am Scott Patterson, as he said, and Father Perry asked me a couple weeks ago if I would mind speaking on stewardship. And I naively said, yeah, sure, I've got that, no problem. And then I sort of had a little panic of like, what am I going to say to these people? And he gave me some advice, and he said, be yourself, be authentic, just speak from your heart, and keep it to 3 minutes. That's not going to happen. I'm an economics teacher, but I'm also a coach. So you can't give me an open mic, a captive audience, and an inspirational message and expect me to go 3 minutes. It's just not going to happen. The 8 o'clock service being over is partially my fault, so sorry about that. First, I got to introduce my family to you. We're 11ers, so we normally sit right back there at the 11 o'clock. My amazing wife, Kristen, she's kind of the impetus of why I'm up here in the first place. I have two wonderful children, Ruby Claire and Kate. You may know them as the little blurs of blonde hair terrorizing the halls on Wednesdays and Sundays. That's our fault too. And I want to go back a second first and say that last week, Bishop Smith, I was praying and pondering on what am I going to say about stewardship. And luckily, Bishop Smith was here last week because he gave me some really good ideas. And he said two things right off the bat that struck me. One was that the use of our gifts is God's will. He wants us to do that. And then secondly, he said, God doesn't always tell you what to do, but he shows you what you need. And I thought for my story, that struck home very, very closely. So our backstory is that I'm a lifelong Episcopalian and my wife is a recovering Baptist. So when we were going to get married, she said she'd join the Episcopal Church as long as I promised to find us a church home. In her words, which I love, she said, I want to plant roots. I said, I'm in, let's do it. We got married. We moved around a little bit. We settled in McKinney after we had our first child, and we started trying out churches. We came to St. Peter's. When we got here, we liked it. The sermon felt good. The people were nice, and it kind of felt pretty good to us. We started coming, and like a lot of families, we did we came a decent amount, and if I had cash on me, I'd drop in the offering plate, and if I could remember a check every now and then, I would write one, and we were sort of cruising along. But we had planted our seed, but we hadn't really nurtured it yet. We were that family out on the periphery. We had sort of played in the dirt, but we didn't have any roots yet. And so that had bothered us, and so we prayed about it, and stewardship came along a few years into this, and we said, you know what, that commitment card, and the word commitment meant something to us. I said, okay, we're going to fill this out. What are we going to do? And so we decided that day that we're going to commit to St. Peter's, and we filled the card out, we brought it to the altar, and we started bringing that monthly check. And that actually changed our lives. The way that our commitment to this church was reciprocated to us was an amazing thing. And it's hard to put my finger on and be able to tell you exactly what we got out of it, but it was amazing. And so we saw that as we gave, we received even more. And as we became part of this community and we grew our roots, it really, really anchored us down in something very good and very special. And so we did that for a while, and we were a couple years in, and Shaping Our Future comes. We're like, okay, can we make this next step? We made the first leap. Can we do another one? We prayed about it, and we talked as a family, and we said, yeah, we can make it work. And so we added to Shaping Our Future, and what felt like that was another growing, and we started to really immerse ourselves. And again, all of a sudden, these opportunities come, and now we're meeting new people, and we're being asked to volunteer, and it just opens up a whole new world. And then we all got that same email, right, that said, hey, you're already given for Shaping Our Future. Why don't you just sort of roll that on over? And we did. That's another step, and we did that. And again, now we can say safely that this is not just our community we're involved in, but we call it our St. Peter's family. We've made some very deep connections with people here, and we feel very connected. And all of that stems from that commitment that we made to give. And so now we would say that, like, this isn't our St. Peter's community, it's our family. And then Bishop Smith said something else, and he said that God created us to be in communion together. And God created us that we are stronger as a group. And as an economics teacher, if you guys can remember back to your high school days, you learned about the multiplier effect. So that when you do one thing, if you give or if you donate an hour of your time, whatever it is multiplied, it is magnified throughout the community. And then what I love about serving the Lord is that it is then magnified back to you. So it's you're giving and you're receiving, and it's a wonderful thing. And it's changed how we look at things. And so we would say, and the challenge that we look at is that the lifeblood of St. Peter's is that commitment to serving the Lord. But you must use your talents and your monetary gifts. You can't do one or the other. You have to do both for this to thrive. And so, as Father Perry had said, stewardship cards are coming out soon. But today in your bulletin is a step-up chart, and that kind of reflects back to what I really thought about our journey, is that we would step through, and each couple of stewardships, or every time something came up, could we make that next step? And every time we did, it was fulfilling and gratifying, and we received much more than we gave. And in closing, I would like to go back to last week again, and I hope you heard Chris Matthews speak, either in person or you watched him online, because Chris painted a beautiful picture of the St. Peter's table. He said that we have this long table that we're all going to commune at, and that we're going to celebrate Christ together. So I've already challenged my family, and I would challenge your family to let's make that table a reality. Let's make Chris's vision come real. And so, Chris, set the table. The Pattersons are coming. I'm going to bring the brisket and the ribs. We'll see you guys there. Thank you, and God bless.